Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to someone else who may like it as well, okay? So, first and foremost, I wanted to tell you that we hit 8,000 subscribers the other day. So I'm going to be doing another giveaway in a day or so. I'm still working on it, so be ready for that, okay? Secondly, today someone asked me to speak about something that as soon as I read the question, I wasn't even quite sure if I was the right person to talk about it. I almost was like, okay, I'm gonna just put this at the bottom of the list, you know? But I realized that maybe that's exactly why I'm the best person to talk about it. She asked me to talk about regrets. And when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know about you guys, but I do feel a lot of regret. And it doesn't last, and it doesn't, stay with me, because very quickly I come to a different space with it. But it does come up for me sometimes. Sometimes I regret the bad situations that I put myself in. Sometimes I regret the bad decisions that I made. A lot of things that go wrong in our lives goes wrong, especially when we're adults. A lot of stuff that goes wrong when we are adults is because of decisions that we did or did not make. And so sometimes I do sit back and think, damn, what if I had went left instead of right? What if I had spent more time studying in high school and paying attention in class and got better grades? And went to a good college, a HBCU or Harvard, or or traveled the world like I said I was going to. Sometimes I do have regret. I look back and I'm like, damn, what if I had done this instead of that? And then just as quickly as the regret leaves my lips, I realize that whatever I did do, whatever choice I did make, was for a reason. It took me somewhere. It taught me something. It made me better. It made me grow in some way. So it's such a dilemma for me in those moments, because I can't stay in the place of regret. Immediately, I'm like, but that did cause this. Like, I give you guys a perfect example. You guys know, sometimes I talk about Voldemort. So sometimes I will regret meeting him, or regret ever talking to him. That thought may come to my mind, because I'm Aquarius, and all the decades of my life constantly run through my mind. Like, our minds are sharp, and it's like constantly going. So sometimes we have the most random thoughts, and it may come to my mind like, if only I didn't talk to him that day, or if only I hadn't taken that job, or if only I wasn't in that building, and sometimes I go to that space like, damn. And then immediately the next thought behind it, I can't even get into the regret good, you know what I mean? I can't even get cozy in the regret, before it comes up in me. But that's how you got to where you are now. If you hadn't fallen down so far, you would have never seen that you needed to change and you needed to get back up. You never would have became you, and you love you so much. You love how you show up, and you wouldn't be this you. You would be a different you, and oh my goodness, the rate she was going, I didn't like her. At least I didn't want to stay like her. So immediately that thought comes right behind it. So I don't get to dwell in the regret too long, because that comes up right behind it. And I just wanted to remind you guys of that, Because I think a lot of people are like me, and some of the times those decisions, those things we should have did or maybe shouldn't have done, or who knows, should I have done A or should I have done B? I know one young lady was telling me that she had a full scholarship to college, and instead of taking the scholarship and going to college, she married her daughter's father and started her family. And she's like, what if I had gone to college instead? What if instead of marrying him and having these kids and being in his house and ironing his drawers, I had went to college and become the engineering scientist or whatever. She was some kind of engineering major, architectural engineer. That's what it was. And what if I had become an architectural engineer? And I'm like, yeah, but you wouldn't have your kids. You wouldn't have your kids, you wouldn't have this relationship, you wouldn't have all the things you've learned and grown from it. Maybe you will get that degree one day, but maybe this experience was what you were supposed to get right now. So I just wanted to remind you guys that even when we make what seems like a huge mistake, it's not really a mistake. It's the universe's way of getting us to level up. It's the universe's way of getting us to raise up, raise your vibration, and we don't know it at the time. At the time, it's the most ugly, hideous, horrible feeling and experience we've ever had, Everything about it is pure agony, and then the next thing you know, you turn around and it's like, out of this trash, out of this negativity, out of this drama, out of all this gook, came something so beautiful. If you allow it to happen, that's what happens. If you climb the path of healing, that's where it goes. It takes you from the bottom basement, and they always say this. They say you have to hit rock bottom. Well, that's your emotional bottom. You don't have to be an addict to hit your bottom. It's your emotional bottom. Anybody can hit their emotional bottom. And some of us have to hit that emotional bottom before we realize, what am I doing to myself? What am I doing to my life? Like, oh my God, look at how I'm damaging myself. Look at the mistakes that I'm making. That is our wake-up call to raise up. If we can just, go through the healing process, that's our wake-up call right there. So I just wanted to remind you guys that if you find yourself in that space, either you find yourself regretting or you find yourself in a mistake, remember that. Remember that whatever it was that you did, it was for a reason. And if you handle it productively, if you handle it healthily, it'll lead you towards better things. It'll lead you towards spiritual growth. That's what they're designed to do. But so many of us get caught in the regret, caught in the bitterness, caught in the anger. And it's normal. It's normal to get caught there for a while. But if you can free yourself from that by forgiving and releasing, the more you forgive and release, the better you are. I told my papa I was going to spend this whole week working on forgiveness. I'm going to think of everything and everyone that I'm not or have not forgiven. Everyone who occasionally come to my mind and I consider choking them. I'm going to think of all of those people and I'm going to journal about them this week, and I'm going to use my Buddhism cards and my Kuan Yin cards and my Mother Mary cards, and I am going to focus on forgiveness. I'm going to do forgiveness meditations. And I'm going to do that because that's what I think takes us back to those places of regret. And I think I'll have less moments like that. My mind will go there less and less if I really forgive those situations. I feel like this whole journey that I've been going on is a journey of letting go. One thing about Aquarius, sometimes we hold on to things, And I think for me, this is a journey of letting go. So I'm going to let go of the regrets. I'm going to let go of anger. I'm going to just forgive. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I'm starting today. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I think this will help. So if you're like me and you're experiencing this or thinking about this or have been through this, I think this aspect can help you too. Dedicate yourself to forgiveness and releasing. Those two things. Look at everything and forgive and release. Okay? All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So please tell me in the comments section, what regrets do you struggle with? And how do you cope with them? How are you releasing? Are you coming to the same conclusions that I am? Would love to hear about it in the comments section. If you would like to have a reading done, please email me and I will give you a reading. I'll give you an appointment for a reading. My waiting list is crazy right now. I think my first opening is like October 16th. So if you want a reading, don't wait, because my list is out of control right now. It really is. I'm going on vacation. So between that and just being booked, I think the first opening is like October 16th or something like that. So also, if you're interested in becoming a patron, my Patreon information will be underneath this video and every way to contact me. Okay, guys, come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.